What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. We're going to be talking about the market today because we are seeing some big moves in some very important charts. We're seeing Ethereum trying to get at a really good price here, trying to close a really good price. If we can close the day above kind of 2.7K, that will be an insanely good daily close. It would be the best daily close, in fact, since a long time ago. So if Ethereum can close above 2.7K, I think we are looking really, really strong. And if it can close the week above these levels here from the previous high, if it can close above 2.8, we are almost guaranteeing 3 to 3.5K as the next move on Ethereum. So things are looking very good when it comes to Ethereum, when it comes to Bitcoin. If you go and look at ETH BTC here, you can see Ethereum's up 7.3%, Bitcoin's only up 1%. That's exactly what we want to see as altcoin investors. We want to see Ethereum actually outperforming Bitcoin as altcoin investors. Okay, and if you go and look at the top gainers, you're seeing a lot of Ethereum projects actually in the top gainers. Uniswap, the DEX for Ethereum, Arbitrum, and Optimism, both Ethereum layer 2s, Lido, an Ethereum staking related project. So you're seeing a big move towards the Ethereum ecosystem in the market. And I have been mentioning this for quite a while. If you guys have been paying attention, the best Ethereum beta play is none other than Aerodrome. You should know this by now. I've been saying it every single live stream. Arrow. I've been mentioning it all the time. And if it hasn't clicked by now, then I don't know what to say. Hopefully it has. But I was telling you guys for a long time, okay, Aerodrome below 50 cents, I was saying pick it up. Around 50 cents, I was saying pick it up. And now we're heading towards 60 cents on Arrow. It's up 13.5% on the day. What a call, right? What a call. We were buying this one way lower in price, and it's starting to make some moves. Also, I want to add a brand new buy alert, okay, to the honorable mentions. I just dropped a meme coin buy alert. This is a DGen one, guys, so be careful, okay? But this one is printing already. It can make you stupid money. These types of micro cap memes, they can make you stupid money. Okay, and that's what I've just done. I've just dropped a micro cap meme coin buy alert over in the VIP. Now, there's a little bit of a catch. If we can hit 300 likes whilst I am live, I will drop that meme coin to you guys for free. I'll tell you the meme coin on the stream. If we don't hit 300 likes, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so that is the ultimatum, right? But even if I share it on the stream, you should still join the VIP because the VIPs are printing on it already. I think it's up like 50, 60, 70%, something like that since the alert. So it's already printing, which is crazy. But yeah, man, the market's looking very good right now. Ethereum is the one that I've got my eyes on. Not too bothered really about Bitcoin at the moment because it's above 109K. It's looking really good. The main area of attention for me is Ethereum and whether or not it can kind of close above this resistance line and start freaking pumping to the next major level. And I think the next level for me will be around 3.5K that I'm watching on Ethereum. That's my next target. So I like what I'm seeing with ETH. I like the fact the RSI came down a lot during this dump, despite price not really capitulating too much. The RSI still dropped a lot. So that means we've got a lot of room here to go up on the RSI. So very happy with what I'm seeing in the market. Others as well. There's a ton of room with the others chart. This thing is only just beginning. Let me pull up the others chart. If you don't know what others is, this chart essentially shows all the cryptos outside of the top 10. So if you're holding coins like maybe Aerodrome, Say, Casper, this represents those coins very well because it excludes the top 10. It excludes the mega high cap coins. That way you're looking at a fair representation of mid and lower caps. And others, I mean, I've got two targets on it here, right? Like a bear case and then a bull case, I guess. The bear case is that it just goes to the highs from 2024. Like, that's really bearish, to be quite honest with you. If we were to do that, though, this just puts into perspective how low we are still right now. If we were to just go back to where we were in December, it's a 73% pump on others. Just to go back to where we were in December. Okay? So we're still early days here when it comes to low caps and mid caps. This move is only just brewing. So I'm not trying to, persuade people not to take profits. Obviously, if you feel like you're in a coin, it's pumping a lot, by all means, take some profits. But I'm just letting you know this breakout is only just beginning. It's very much in its infancy. And that's a 73% move just to where we were back in December. Now, if you actually zoom out on the chart, this is where it gets very interesting. You can see that we are still way below 2021 bull market levels. And we didn't even get to that in 2024. So this is the real level that I'm watching on others that I think we're going to hit. And, if you look at how much of a move it is to there, let's just take a look. Just to where we were in 2021, no higher, okay? The definition of a bull run is you make higher highs. That's a bull run, right? You go higher. So this wouldn't even technically be a bull run for altcoins. It would just be retesting the levels from 2021. But even if it just did that, it's a 2x on others, almost. My personal target where I think we're going is probably up to this 1.618, which is a 140% move on others. Now, what you need to bear in mind, yes, that's a 2.4x, okay, for the index as a whole. It's a 2.4x. But that's the index as a whole. That's including a ton of absolute garbage coins, which I don't hold. I hold good coins. I hold coins like Sui, like Casper, like Tau, like Sei, like Ondo, like Arrow, the VIP gem, right? The VIP gem, which I bought a little bit more of actually yesterday as well. I dropped that alert in the VIP. Those are the plays that I have, and they will drastically outperform the others chart because there's a ton of crap coins in the others chart. This represents every single crypto. This represents Shiba Inu. This represents freaking World Liberty Financial Coin. This represents Trump Coin. This represents outdated coins that no one really buys anymore, right? From previous bull runs that are still around. This represents a ton of absolute garbage. And if you're in decent plays like I am, you're going to drastically outperform that. That's just like the baseline. That's just the baseline, 2.4x. Ideally, if you're in decent plays, you should at least triple this. If you're in decent plays, you should at least 3x whatever the baseline is, which if we work it out, 2.4 times by 3, it's a 7.2x. That's the baseline target here. Okay, so everyone here, if you're in the right plays and you're doing something right, you should, 7.2x your money. That's what should happen. This bull run. Minimum, right? People will make way more than that. Some people will make a 10x, some people will make a 15x, but this is like a realistic target for a lot of people here if you're holding quality plays and you don't want to take on too much risk. Everyone hit a like to the stream. Absolutely. If you want to see that new microcap VIP buy alert, which is literally at 2 million in market cap, I think it could potentially, I know I don't say this often, guys, but I think this thing could potentially 50x. I know I don't say that often. I'm usually pretty conservative with my plays, but this thing's at 2 million in market cap. If it was to just 50x, you're talking 100 million. Obviously, it could just go to dust. It's possible. But I think a 50x on this is very possible, especially when you understand my thesis on it. Yeah, Casper also looking pretty good. If we pull up the chart for Casper, it's actually on support here. So yes, it's lagging behind. It's not really moving. But there's a really strong level of support around 0.082. And we've held that support. So Casper should start moving up pretty soon. For some reason, it's just lagging behind the market. But I have a really strong feeling that Casper is going to be one of those coins where when it eventually moves, it's going to move very, very rapidly up to all-time highs. Very similar to what's happened with XRP. right? If we take a look at the XRP chart, let's pull it up. XRP. If we take a look at the XRP chart, this thing just exploded out of nowhere. It went from 50 cents all the way up to, you know, $2.70 in a very short period of time. I think Casper's going to make a similar move. It's going to basically just out of nowhere at some point move all the way up to 30 cents. That's what I expect. Okay, and then where it goes from there, I don't know. Whether it comes back down, then pumps higher, we'll have to wait and see. But my next macro target on Casper is 30 cents. That's the level I'm targeting. Thanks for your advice, Archie. I was able to consolidate and rotate some alts to Say and Arrow and a meme Kokoro during the dip. I'm thinking of adding AI tech. What do you think? So first of all, congrats on getting some Say and Arrow. Those are very good picks. AI tech, I'm not a massive fan of, but it's not terrible. I want to make it clear. It's not like a bad pick. It's just not a good pick. It's like a solid 4 out of 10 crypto, in my opinion. It crashed really hard on this dump, which shows obviously not a great deal of strength. And they don't, in my opinion, it's just like a fully marketing-centered project. Like the actual product to it, I think there's a lot of fugazi with it, right? The team, I don't think I was impressed with as well when I checked out the team a while back. They just seem like a bunch of normies. Yeah, and look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but I'm just being honest. Like when I researched the project, I wasn't impressed. So take that with what you will. I mean, you can buy it if you want. It's up to you, but I'm just saying I wasn't too impressed with it. But look, if AI has a big run, every single coin with AI in the name is probably going to pump. But it's about being positioned in the best ones. And I have the 2 best AI coins, Virtuals and Tau, and I got both of them at an absolute perfect buy. Perfect buy. Okay. I was buying Tau below $200 and I was buying Virtuals at around 50 cents. So I don't need to gamble on some of these like really mid AI coins. I don't need to do that because I got the 2 best and I got them at really good buy prices, really good entry prices. So if you would have just paid attention to the VIP buy alert, you would have got Tau below $200 and you would have got Virtuals around 50 cents and you'd be in massive profits now. You'd probably be almost retired. Most people, if they would have bought those coins just off the buy alert, you'd probably be on your step to retirement, on your way to retirement in a few months. Hey Archie, what do you think about Luby, GTA artist Stefan Bliss behind this project? Let me take a look. I've heard about this one. I looked into it a while back, but I'm curious as to what's happened with it. Bro, have they not got a CoinMarketCap listing? Is this some sort of joke? How long has this thing been around? How long has this thing been around? Oh my. This thing's been around for 7 freaking months, and is it not on CoinMarketCap, or am I just searching the wrong thing? Let me check. We got to check one more time, because if it's not, this is just, we all need to laugh at this project, guys. I don't care who's the freaking artist behind it. If it's Picasso, if it's the GTA guy, if it's freaking Leonardo da Vinci, I don't give a crap who the artist is. If they haven't got a CoinMarketCap listing, the thing's a joke. I can't take it seriously. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Why is this thing not on CoinMarketCap? It barely even costs any money. What about the exchange listings? It hasn't even got a centralized exchange. Bro, I don't care who the artist is behind it, whether it's Picasso, Da Vinci, Steven, whatever his name is, I don't care. If it's not on CoinMarketCap, if it hasn't got any listings, the team's broke. Okay, it doesn't matter who the artist is, doesn't matter who's behind it. I couldn't care less. The thing is not worthy of my capital. You got to treat your money as something which you worked hard to earn, and you got to be very, very careful with where you put that. You spent your hard-earned time to get that money, and you're just going to waste it on something which can't even get a CoinMarketCap listing. If a thing can't get a CoinMarketCap listing, it's not worthy of my money all my attention. So let's get this crap off the screen and let's look at some actual decent projects. So Ethereum outpacing Bitcoin here, which is good. Very good news. And man, Virtual's looking strong as well. Virtual's above $2 now. If you would have just bought my buy alert on Virtuals, you'd be up 4x on your money. No complaints. Nice 4x in the bag. You can take some profits if you want, or you can just let it ride for a 10x, right? This thing's going to be probably one of the easiest 10x's I've ever had, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Moo, I like 12x my money in a couple weeks, but this thing's going to be like a good rival to it. I picked this thing up around 50 cents, which is like the absolute bottom pretty much. 54 cents, was it? 53? That is when I bought Virtuals. Let me just circle this so you guys can see. That is where I freaking sent out the buy alert to the VIPs on Virtuals, which is like alongside Tau, the best AI project. Entry is everything in crypto, man. That's why you got to be in this group, because then you can enter these coins at good levels. I don't just throw buy alerts out willy-nilly, you know? I'm actually doing research, looking at the chart before I buy. Yeah, there you go. Bought $6,000 of Virtuals at 54 cents. So that's basically like a 4x now. If you would have just took that buy alert, basically be up 4x on your money, you would have turned 6 grand into 24 grand in just a few weeks, or like a couple months, whatever it is. You don't need to buy crap that hasn't got listings. You can buy quality projects and make a ton of money in a short period of time. If you just know what you're doing, or you're following someone who knows what they're doing. Hey Archie, great channel, great content. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Guys, get your questions in the chat. Get your questions in. The alts need QE to pump like we had in 2016. Oh, man. Oh, bro. Do I have to get into this again? Do I have to get into the whole QE thing and why we don't need it? Type yes or no in the chat if you want me to get into this. I'm honestly exhausted with this whole discussion about QE. But if you want me to get into it, type yes. If you don't, type no, because man, I'm so exhausted with this topic. People spouting around regurgitated information from YouTubers. Carl says no. Okay, we won't get into it. Just watch some of my previous streams and you'll know what I'm on about. We don't need QE. It's just a common myth that people are spouting around. Are we getting rate cuts on June 17th? No. Probably no rate cuts this year, actually. Maybe one. Maybe one at the very back end of the year, but rate cuts are off the cards. And look, we're still pumping. Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high a few weeks ago without rate cuts. So all this BS that people are sharing around about, oh, we need rate cuts, we need QE for it to pump. It's a load of absolute hogwash. Absolute load of codswallop. That's what it is. It's not based on anything. It's clearly not based on the chart because we're pumping despite no QE and no rate cut. We haven't had a rate cut since last year. Right? And we're at all-time highs. So people are just coming up with all sorts of excuses to fade this market. Like, bro, I'm not having to go at you, Massimo, but I'm just so sick and tired of this narrative of people spreading around this idea that we need QE for a pump. I'm so sick and tired of it. I've heard it 1,000 times. And then when you ask people to explain it, they have no reasoning behind it. Yeah, crypto is worldwide as well. That's true. But look, as well, the money supply is going up. You don't just need QE for markets to pump. The money supply going up, that itself is good. You know, people taking out loans for assets. It doesn't actually have to be the Fed themselves. It can just be businesses taking out loans and leveraging and stuff like that, which is what's happening, right? Businesses are literally borrowing to buy Bitcoin. Well, I see say at $1.50. It's certainly possible, bro. Very realistic target there. So I think it's certainly a possibility that say could get to $1.50 per coin. What would that be in price? Let me just work that out. So it's at 20 cents right now. $1.50 would be approximately a 7.3x. Super realistic. Super realistic. Say can definitely get to that. I wouldn't be fading Say. Would not be fading it. This project looks ready to absolutely fly. I know the chart doesn't look great, but the fundamentals are great. And that's why I believe that eventually it's going to just make another massive move like it did back in 2023 to 2024. This thing absolutely flew. It went from 9 cents per coin all the way up to way over $1. So it did like a 15x or a 14x or something. Why can't it do it again? Now, obviously, even if I just got a 8x on Say or a 7x, I would take a ton of money off the table. But I think it's possible that it could make a 10x or higher. But that doesn't mean you wait, just because it could. Great show, Archie. Great content. Thank you. I hold about 75k USDT of SUI. Purchase price around $2.50 per coin. What price can you see SUI going to in the next 3 to 6 months? Good question. I personally have SUI going to some of the higher fib retracement levels. So let's just work it out here. So I think we'll probably boom past $7. Okay. I think we'll probably get way past that. But I think when you start getting to like $11 to $15, that will be a potential top level. So let's just say SUI goes to $15. What would that be from here? 3.44. Yeah, like a 4x, honestly. Like a 3 to a 7x on SUI is realistic. 3 to 7x. And I know that's not amazing, but you got to bear in mind, this thing's already pumped a ton. Like, people like me, you know, who are smart enough to buy this thing way below $1, we're already up 3.5x or more on our money, right? So just another 5x would be way over a 15x for me on SUI. And I went in big on SUI. I went in with conviction. This wasn't one of the coins I just threw in a little bit of cash. This is a coin I went in with conviction, with size. Like, I made it like 15, 20% of my portfolio. And my portfolio thanked me for it. I think the chart looks pretty good on Say, actually. We've got a higher low in the higher time frames. It's a more aggressive entry now, but definitely looks good. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, like, for most people, they probably look at the chart. It looks terrible to them. But someone who knows what they're doing, it actually looks like a good buy opportunity. What I really mean looks bad is the fact that it failed to make a new high in November compared to March. So it's kind of in a macro downtrend. If you think about that, it's kind of in a macro downtrend, which doesn't look good. But that was exactly the position XRP was in until eventually it broke out and then freaking went ballistic. So I've seen many times coins in like a macro downtrend like that, and then they eventually break out And that's when you see ridiculous amounts of gains because everyone just FOMOs in. I bought 20k Arrow at 59 today. Congrats. Goodbye. I mean, it would have been even better if you were buying it a bit lower, right? When I was talking about it every day on the channel, but it's still a good buy, right? 59 cents is still going to be a great buy. I personally think Arrow could pull a 10x. Now, again, I'll take profits way before that. I'll be taking profits at a 5x, a 6x, a 7x, but I think it could hit a 10x Arrow. Because look at what PancakeSwap went to last cycle. I mean, Base is like the next big chain. You know, if Ethereum is going to succeed, it's going to succeed with Base at the forefront. You know, last cycle, PancakeSwap, which was one of the biggest dexes, that got to 6 billion. You don't think Aerodrome could get to 5 billion? The hub for DeFi on Base? I mean, I think it's very possible. If we get a big drawdown on dominance, right? Which is what everyone's hoping for. And I do believe we're going to get that. I think Bitcoin is going to put on the brakes. It's going to slow down. And it's going to be like a slow kind of grind for Bitcoin into July. And then maybe we make a final kind of blow off top, you could say, to some degree. Probably outside of the trend line. But then we close the week below the trend line and then we crash. Now, obviously, anything can happen. I'm not trying to completely predict this market here. It's very unpredictable. But I think there's a good chance that we actually get above the trend line on a wick, but then head back down, right? So it's kind of like a wick. Just like exactly what happened in April 2021. We got above it with a wick, and then we fell back down and capitulated. So it doesn't really matter how high Bitcoin goes. What really matters is how much of a dominance drop we get. If Bitcoin slowly moves up to 120, but dominance capitulates in the next month, we're going to make a ton of money. Right? We're going to make 3, 5, 7, 8, 10x's if that happens. If Bitcoin slowly moves up to 120 and dominance capitulates and Ethereum goes crazy, we're going to make a ton of money. So it really depends how much altcoins outpace Bitcoin, if at all. And for the majority of this cycle, altcoins have not outpaced Bitcoin whatsoever. Archie, thanks for your recent buy alert. I caught it at perfect timing, and I'm up 50%. Wow, congrats, man. Great stuff. That's what I love to see, is people saying that they followed the buy alert, they made a ton of money. They're up 50% on the money in a day. So I'm made up. Glad to hear about that. And everyone who's not in the VIP should definitely sign up, because people say it for themselves. They've never seen a group like this. They join, they see how active it is, and they're astonished. The amount of people that have joined and said, Archie, you should have sold this even more. You should have ramped up your sales pitch even more. That's what people say. They say, you know, you obviously say the group is good, but it's even better than what you say. Because when you join, you see these calls. They're open 24/7. People talking about the markets all day long. It's even more active and more engaged than what they think. Because, right, most influencers, they exaggerate. Oh, it's the best in the world. You know, it's going to 100x. Most influencers exaggerate. I don't really exaggerate. I just give the base case. So people join it thinking I'm exaggerating loads, but I'm actually not. I'm just saying it how it is. It is the best group. And the results speak for themselves. I mean, if you would have just took this virtual buy alert, you'd have made 24 grand, right? What do I think about Uniswap? I prefer Arrow, to be honest. Like, if I'm going to buy a DEX, I'm going to buy Aerodrome because it's fresh, it's new. Base is a bit hotter. Like, obviously, it's pumping, which is great. We want that to happen. But if I'm going to buy a DEX, I'm going to go with the DEX for Base as opposed to the DEX for Ethereum. Because the DEX for Ethereum is already at a 5 billion market cap. I mean, how much higher can this go? Maybe 10 billion, 15 billion, 20 billion. You know, it's probably only got a few X's left in the tank. You know, maybe Uniswap can go to 20 billion again, maybe 30 billion. But Arrow has a lot more upside, and it's tied into that Ethereum narrative, but with Base. So that's my view on it. Uniswap's all right, but I would just prefer Aerodrome every day of the week. Let's check up on the likes. Let's see where we're at. Remember, if we get 300 likes while I'm live, I will drop that microcap buy alert to you guys. 82 likes. We need 300 for that alert to come out. That microcap. Looks like it's not going to happen the way it's going. It'll have to be next time. Yeah, but there's going to be very little, if any, rate cuts this year, guys. People need to bear that in mind. And we don't even need rate cuts to pump. We just need, solid macroeconomic data and solid sentiment. That's all we need. We need sentiment to be good. The stock market's already trading at many, many times earnings. It's already, in my opinion, irrationally valued. But the market can be irrational for a very, very long time because sentiment is so good, right? It's all about sentiment. If you want to get one thing from this live stream, it's that sentiment is way more than anything else, right? Sentiment is everything. In the stock market, in crypto especially, but in everything. In the stock market, you can have a stock which is trading many, many times above earnings, like Tesla. But because of sentiment, it does really well. It's the same with crypto. A lot of these things, they're barely doing anything, right? But because the sentiment's so good, they go really high. And that's why we don't need QE. You can get a big, big run on alts just from positive sentiment. Trump talking about crypto, Bitcoin strategic reserves, altcoin ETFs, all those things. Sentiment is everything. So I think there's a good chance we actually get no rate cuts this year. I know not many people are saying that, but if you look at the probabilities, it's either 0 or 1, most likely. If I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet on 0. Because they just don't want to... They don't want to prematurely make these decisions when the macro is still very uncertain, right? When it comes to trade and inflation. They don't want inflation to tick back up again. And if you've heard anything from Jerome Powell, he cares about inflation being well anchored. And, the other thing he says is we'll have to wait and see. So just take his words at face value, and it probably seems like there's no rate cuts this year. Maybe 1, right? Maybe 1 at the end of the year. And that's what people aren't expecting, but it's the reality. Smash up the like button, absolutely. Get those likes up. Any thoughts on OORT? Let's take a look. The chart looks horrible. Kind of looks like the Mavia chart, actually. Kind of looks like the Mavia chart, just horrible, right? And I'm an investor in Mavia, so I'll be honest. I mean, the chart just looks damn brutal. Straight up downtrend. It's an AI project. Let's see how much they raise. Very important thing when it comes to AI projects and things like that. Let's go check crypto rank, see how much they raised. The amount of money a project raises really does show the quality of the project. You don't even really need to look into the tech too much if they barely raised any money. Unless it's like a fair launch project like Casper. That's the exception. Fundraising. Let's see. 6 million. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Considering the market cap's only 19 million, raising 6.2 million, it's pretty decent. So this one, besides the chart looking quite bad, this might be one to consider as a bit of a degen punt. But I do want to reiterate, the chart does look horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I mean, it's putting in new lows despite the market exploding right now. This thing continues to put in new lows. Ridiculous. So maybe the guys behind this need to get their act together. Maybe they're slacking. I don't know. But it sounds good. Decentralized cloud for privacy and cost savings. It sounds good, but a lot of these projects are mostly just hype. But yeah, whoever's behind this, they need to pull their finger out. They need to get up off their chair and do something, because this chart is horrible. But you know, listings wise, it's okay. Fundraising wise, it's okay. Narrative wise, it's okay. So it does pass a few it does tick a few boxes, but this chart's one of the worst charts I've seen in crypto. Right, you want a chart that kind of looks like this. Let me show you a good chart. Arrow. This is a nice chart. It looks quite steady. There's clear structure to it. I like it when a chart has structure, because it shows that like the buyers and sellers are controlling the price. Like there's natural market dynamics controlling the price. It's not just completely manipulated by VCs dumping it forever. When you look at these types of projects like Ort, or however the hell you say it, some stupid name. When you look at these types of projects, it's just constant dumps. And Mavia is the same, right? I'll hold my hands up. Mavia is the same. I kind of misjudged Mavia a bit. I still hold it, but I think it'll do well. But it's just constant dumps. Like, it's a never-ending decline. And that's because probably all of the supply is in the hands of very few people. Retail have no control of the supply. It's not fairly distributed, and it's probably just a coin which is being dumped and dumped and dumped every single time there's a freaking unlock. Every single time there's an unlock, they sell, they sell, they sell. And then when you look at the circulating supply, it's only 22%. That just probably shows why this is dumping, right? Because of the unlocks. I don't even need to check. I mean, I should check the unlocks, right? Without saying that. With saying that, but I've seen it so many times. I've seen these types of projects, right? I'm just speaking from experience. To just continue to dump. And you got to ask yourself why. And quite often, it's because the supply, the way the supply is distributed. You look at a project like Arrow, there's clear structure to the chart because it's natural, it's organic. The people have control, you know, the market has some structure. Another one with good structure would be Sui. It's not just constant dumping of unlocks. There's structure to the chart. It looks nice. It looks organic. But when you go and look at this one, just a never-ending story of dumping. Look, it might turn around. There's some things I like about it, but overall, I'd probably avoid it. Smash up the like button, absolutely. I mean, look, it's a low cap, right? It's a low cap, so it's a worthy gamble. I have some low caps where the charts kind of look like this as well, but I only put in peanuts, right? I only put in money I can afford to lose, just a few peanuts. $2 donation, thank you. What are my thoughts on NOS, Nasana? Structure to the chart looks okay. It's on crypto.com, so I like that. Let's take a look at how much they raised and a bit more about the project. Nasana, token sale, raised only $1 million. GPU rental, there's a lot of projects in this narrative. A project I would prefer over Nasana would be IO.net. IO.net raised 30 million as opposed to that Poxy 1 million that Nasana raised. So I would go with IO.net as opposed to Nasana. The backers are better and they raise way more money. And it's just a better project probably. So that's what I would do. But Bitcoin here looks like it's trying to hold this 109K. Ethereum looking very strong. Got to admit it. We'll check up on the likes, see if you guys have smashed the likes enough to reveal the micro cap 2 million market cap buy alert for the VIPs. Let's see. Let's refresh the screen and have a look. 96 likes. Nowhere near. Nowhere near the amount of likes we need. I guess it's staying close to my chest. But man, a lot of these coins look ready to rock. They look ready to absolutely pump. Virtuals still looking really strong. Someone asked me in the VIP call earlier. We do these calls every single day, group chat calls. Someone asked me in the call, what would be your number one buy today? I said Say. Say would be the coin I would buy. Arrow's already slightly left the station. I was telling everyone to load up on Arrow below 50 cents. Now it's heading for 60, so it's slightly left the station. Not yet. It's kind of just getting ready to put its foot on the accelerator. Whereas Say, it's just not even, the people haven't even got in the train yet, right? The train hasn't even pulled up at the station, let alone left it. So you're still super duper early to Say. Really, really strong layer one. And you guys know, right? Layer ones are the coins which pump the most. They are the coins which get to the really high market cap valuations as well. This is a 1 billion valuation. We've seen layer ones go to 80 billion, 90 billion, 100 billion. I mean, even Cardano, right? No one even knows what Cardano does, and that's at 25 billion, basically, a market cap. So it really puts it into perspective. If you've got a solid layer one, you could hit valuations of 10 billion or higher pretty easily. Thanks for the $2, Ria. Yeah, there is a course that you get with the big bundle. It tells you everything you need to know about technical analysis, portfolio management, exit strategy, how to vet coins, my research strategies. It gives you spreadsheets with information on, gives you checklists, it gives you loads of stuff, loads of resources. Basically, everything you need to know for crypto is in that course. And you do get that as part of the big bundle. You don't just get that, you also get a one-to-one call with myself, and you get lifetime on the mentor tier. So in 5, 10, 15, 20 years time, I'm still doing this. You're still going to have access to my DMs, and you're still going to be on the mentor tier. And one of the big things that just recently came to the mentor tier is mentor meetings. So it'd be good to have you come over to one of those, Cash, since you're on the mentor tier. Hop on one of the meetings. We talk about all things crypto and other things that aren't even related to crypto, like real estate. I just recently bought a property in Dubai, so we're going to be talking about all sorts of different investment strategies. The one thing getting rich in crypto, it's another thing getting wealthy, right? A lot of people here, you're going to make quick money this bull run, right? But will you maintain that money, and will you use it to generate cash flow is the question. Yeah, Pygodes, I completely agree, man. Big backers for Say, and not to even you didn't even mention World Liberty Financial as well, back in it. Literally, Trump's company owns Say. Out of all the different layer ones they could pick, Say was one of the ones they went for. So, yeah, you're absolutely spot on. The backers for Say are incredible. And that's what I really look at, when I'm buying a coin. The backers are a really key aspect of my research. I talk about this on the course, but like, you've got all these different backers here. Binance, Multicoin Capital. This is one of the big ones. That's one of the big ones. So I'm pretty impressed with the backers. I'm pretty impressed with the tech. Now, if you look at the vesting as well, 65% of the supply is out for Say. By the end of this year, we'll be fully out by the end of this year. By the end of this year, it's going to be it's going to be 75%. So it's only going from 65 to 75, which is barely anything by the end of the year. And we'll be well out probably by the end of the year anyway. We'll probably be taking profits sometime in July, August, whatever, right? 100%. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Sui is like the retail focused chain, which is really good when it comes to user experience, user interface. It's great for retail. It's great for ordinary things like gaming, memes, right? But Say has a massive focus on DeFi, order books, DeFi, stuff like that. So they're very different projects. A lot of people tried to say, "Oh, Say is the next Sui." No, they're both different projects. They can both do really well in their own niches. They're not competitors, and that's why I have both. I bought Sui at 76 cents. I saw great potential in it, and I'm seeing a similar amount of potential in Say. I'm not saying it's going to be on the level of Sui, but I'm saying it's going to do great returns from here. Can Casper do $5? Not this year. Maybe in 10 years it can, but not this year. Maybe in 10 years. Casper's just been going sideways for way too long for it to hit anywhere near $5 a cycle. Yeah, Casper is higher up than Say in terms of my personal preference. I have Casper as second. Yeah, Sui's like a Web3 project. Exactly. NFTs, gaming, stuff like that. They're bringing out a console. Sui's a Web3 project, and then Say is like an institutional project for DeFi. Hello, buddy. I'm currently holding virtuals, also 21K in USDT. Oh, it's 21K in value. You purchased it at 75 cents and you have 10K on the side. Kind of thinking to purchase more. What's your prediction on virtuals? Yeah, I think virtuals could easily pull like another 10x from here, potentially, but I wouldn't be putting my money in virtuals now. Like, it's okay if you put a little bit, but the time to buy virtuals was when I was buying it at 50 cents, around that level. And even when you were buying it around 70 cents, that was the time to be buying virtuals, not above $2, right? Entry is everything in crypto. With that money, I would rather buy something like Say or Aerodrome or Casper as opposed to virtuals, because virtuals has already left the station. It's all about what's the best buy in the market right now. And virtuals isn't the best buy. It was when it was at 50 cents when I was loading up. Man, I made people so much money on virtuals, that buy alert. It honestly makes my day when someone tells me, "Hey Archie, I just put $1,000 in your buy alert, and within a few weeks I pulled out $5,000. Thank you." You know, it's great. It's great to hear. For some people, that can be life changing. You know, just 5K extra. Everyone's on different paths, right? Some people make 5K in a month or less, right? Some people make 2K in a month. So if they can make 5K on a coin like that with ease, then that's a great deal. What do you think of Broke on Base? It's listing on Mexi tomorrow with a low market cap. I like Base. I like Base meme coins, so we'll take a look. Broke on Base. Nice chart. Like you said, it's getting on Mexi tomorrow. That is good. That'll give it a listing, which is needed. But I like the volume. It's got good volume. It's on Base. Number one frog meme on Base. Fighting Ruggers and Jitters. 85% token distribution. Let's check base scan. 9%, 8%, 6%. Yeah, it looks good, bro. Looks good. On a very surface level, it looks good. I'll have to check it out a bit more. Let's see if we can pull up a chart for this. Broke on base. The name isn't the best, right? Broke. Is it going to make you broke if you buy it? But it's memorable. It's memorable enough. So yeah, so it had a dump down to the golden pocket, respected it really, really well. I love to see that. I love to see some respecting of the fibs. You know, it gives me some good confidence. It's then seen a bit of a bounce since then. Saw support at the 0.5 level. I mean, this really follows the fibs well so far. So it should do well, man. Looks good. Looks good, but obviously it's a meme, so don't allocate much money into it. Yeah, I think AVAX will do all right. I just think Sui's the way better buy in the market, to be honest. But AVAX will still probably pull like a 5x or something. I just think Sui's the better one for this cycle. You got to go with the momentum. All the momentum is placed at Sui right now. I wouldn't bet against it. And I know AVAX is big in gaming, but I think once Sui gets their foot in the door when it comes to gaming, I think they're going to do very well because of their connections, their UI. I think it'll do well. Hyperliquid, it's good. It's probably got a 2 or 3x left in the tank, but the train's left the station again. You want to buy projects that are cheap. Is Cetus a good buy? Let me take a look. I wouldn't buy Cetus if it was me. I would just buy Sui itself. But I understand people don't want to do that because of greed. And just they don't think there's enough gains left for Sui, maybe. But the Sui beta plays don't end that well, to be honest. I haven't seen many people win when it comes to the beta plays on Sui. All the people I've seen win just bought Sui in the first place, rather than trying to buy these beta plays. All right, so let's just take a look. So it had this massive hack thing, didn't it? That brought the price down. And it's finding support at the 786 around 11 cents. Honestly, I know I just said I wouldn't buy it. I know I just said I wouldn't buy it, but I probably would consider it if I was in your position. I mean, it's not financial advice, of course, but this is a good buy. Yeah, this is a good buy here on Cetus, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this in a few weeks and it's a lot higher than what it is right now. You're getting a nice bullish divergence. It looks good. It looks good. Yeah. It looks really good as a buy. As long as it doesn't dump, right? You probably want to set like some sort of stop loss in case it falls below. Like maybe set a stop loss just below 10 cents in case it drops below that. But if it doesn't, it looks clear. It looks like it's ready for a big move up when Sui starts pumping again. Smash the likes. We want the gem. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be no gem alert with you guys if you don't get the likes up. I'm going to be ending the stream pretty soon. So time is of the essence, guys. I got bundle members to speak to. I'm probably going to hop on another VIP call later today, talk to the members, do some research. We need to do another focus research session in the VIP. That was pretty good last time. We're going through loads of different layer ones and doing some in-depth research. I'll be looking forward to doing that again. Personally, the majority of my portfolio is Casper, Sui, Say, and AVAX. I know they're pretty safe bets, but I think overall 5x to 10x left on some if we're lucky. Yeah, couldn't agree more, bro. Couldn't agree more. Solid plays. It just makes sense to be, you know, somewhat somewhat protecting your capital in such an uncertain environment. There's no need to go in all-out degen. It's smart to have defensive plays like those because they will do well regardless. They're not going to dump 90% if Bitcoin goes back down to 91K again, right? There's always a chance Bitcoin could go back down again. And those coins are not going to completely shit the bed like memes. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We didn't get enough likes to reveal the gem. So I will maybe reveal it on the next stream. Maybe not. But if you want to see the gem, you can easily get it by joining the VIP group. Okay. You don't just unlock that gem. You unlock a few micro caps, mid caps, and a high cap buy alert. You unlock a few buy alerts that I haven't mentioned on YouTube that I bought in the last few weeks. So you do unlock a fair bit if you join, and you gain access to any other real-time buy and sell alert that I make. When it comes time to exit, this group is going to be highly, highly effective. Okay, I sold basically all my memes around the exact top for meme coins, like within a week of the top. I sold like 80% of my memes basically at the top. And I believe I'll do it next time. Okay, maybe I won't time the top exactly, but I think I'll have a pretty good indication of where we top out. I'm checking the charts every day. I'm talking to the members every day. I'm in this space 24/7 locked in. So there's a good chance that we get it, you know, pretty right. And we're not aiming for perfection, but we're aiming for results, right? And that's what we get week in, week out. So check out the group. I'll see you guys over there in the Discord. It's super active. Members are in there every day sharing gems. And yeah, looking forward to getting on a call with them as well. We'll do a researched group. We'll do a focused group research session where we go and look at some layer ones. We do deep dives into them. We look at the tokenomics. We look at the teams. And we could do it with some meme coins as well, because I think memes are about to make a big, big move up, right? So I'll see you guys over there. Appreciate you all watching, and drop a like if you enjoyed. Have a good rest of your day. See you in the next one tomorrow. Goodbye.